I'm bald, so I do have a bunch of snapbacks, bucket hats, beanies. I have like, I don't know, 100.
I love it. Okay, we're live right now. Uh,
Yo, hello
we
guys.
have we have no notifications for live stream. That super suck actually, because that's how people don't know that we actually started. It's something like this, so we need to wait a bit until people will find out that we're making streams and everything. But I hope, yeah, we have our first like, and yeah,
Don't
hope.
worry, we're calling the squad right now. Let's see. Let's see if we
Let's
get more.
go. You're so powerful right now. I really like it. I really like to see this. And when I thought like, okay, we will talk with you about Kaita and everything. And I before I had no idea how to earn on Kaita, how this actually working, and I couldn't figure out how it's for me. But lately I started to earn Yaps. I don't know, somehow the AI started to loving me, and like I noticed that my content about art start gaining yaps, so I don't necessarily need like to push myself right about some project, something like that. I just make usual posts, just make it more structured, maybe something like that. And that's how I will gain like yaps that I need, like not obviously a lot, but yeah. And I thought like, okay, if a lot of people like they are talking that it's obviously, they even like doing these traps, like to earn more yaps you need to, and then they're like, no secret, just making content. So I thought like, what should I ask from you, how you earning yaps? And I understood like your superpower is actually not like in the earning yaps, like you just general, like you're just doing a good content.
Yeah, I think, for the past 2 months, for me, I positioned myself at the right time within this growing niche, which is InfoFi. A lot of people started having more interest, which is why, I'm seeing the growth as well. It's easy sometimes to look at yourself and be like, oh my God, I'm so great. Like, look at my content's the best. But when you're being realistic, it's also being at the right time in the right place in order to grow, right? If something becomes really popular and you're already there, then of course you're going to experience some more growth. But I want to say, like, I'm not earning yaps for the past week almost at all, and I know why. Like, I've been trying to decipher this system for a while right now, and the truth is that you cannot really farm yaps. Like, I've been around, in 2024 era, we had, if you remember, we had this thing called Portal Coin. Um,
Wait. I'm so sorry. Just I don't know. Maybe it's because of my card again, but I had like wrong
Wrong
name.
title. No
Yeah,
worries.
wrong
Change
title.
it.
Now I fixed it. I fixed it.
I mean, look, we're bad sing. I'm a bad singer anyway, so that title would have been all right.
Once you even joined, I remember.
Yeah, I don't sing that much, but it was fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you talk about different.
Yeah, do you remember Portal Coin? It was, I think, end of 2023. Everyone was tweeting with Portal, 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 just the hashtag Portal, Portal everywhere. Um, that's when this whole thing started, called social farming, right? Where you had companies, projects, whatever, pay people money in some way or a token for tweeting about them. And I remember when it happened, I didn't like it at all because it was very spammy. Everyone was just posting any type of tweet and they were introducing one word, portal, to farm impressions. So I faded that. A lot of people made a lot of money. I didn't. But then in 2024, it came around again. We had, I think it was maybe 2 months. We had a bunch of tokens, a bunch of gaming companies that were doing the same. You would basically
Mhm.
tweet with the hashtag, it was GMRX, gaming, it was Block, all of these projects, they were
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
advantage of the same system. So that was social farming, right? That was a lot different than what we have right now. And that was a very simple system. More views, more points. That's it. It doesn't really matter how you get the views. So it was really easy to farm, easy to manipulate, because, for example, if you go right now, put notifications on for Elon Musk, and you take your tweet and you copy paste your tweet under one of his posts, as soon as he drops a post, you're going to get thousands of views, thousands of impressions.
Yeah.
So that's what people were doing in 2024, farming these things. They were faking their own metrics, right?
Yeah, I did it. I did the same to get monetization. I remember I was like choosing only like football clubs, accounts, and then you need to post something like, "Is it Ronaldo?" when it's actually Messi photo, and everyone like, "Oh, you're so stupid," but you just gaining needed views, and you're like, "Okay, I'm stupid, but I got monetization."
Yes, exactly. So it's the same thing for monetization. I think Twitter asks for 5 million views in
Yeah.
the last 3 months. So a lot of people do that. They did the same with social farming. So there was a flaw in the system. Basically, it was broken because, the metrics were pretty fake, I would say. So as a project, you would get a bunch of hype, you would launch the token, then it would kind of die. However, it was not a viable option for, real projects to spend marketing dollars that way because they weren't getting, any real impact. It wasn't like that. So that was the first, because I keep telling people about that. That's where it all kind of started, And now you have Kaito, launched last year in December. It's been 6 months. So what did they do different, and why is it so hard to earn yaps, and why
Mhm.
is it that nobody can farm yaps? And it's pretty interesting when you think about it. So they don't care about the views. So you can have 1 million views on your posts. It doesn't really matter for Kaito. Kaito did this. They looked at our space as a bubble. Like, all right, this is the city,
Mhm.
the crypto city, and they have 500,000 accounts, let's say. And they took all of those accounts, 500,000, and they tried to identify the influential people. Can I ask you, when you connect to Kaito, what kind of label do you have besides your name? Does it say
Emerging.
emerging? All right.
Yeah.
So there are two labels on Kaito, emerging and inner circle.
Hmm.
Inner circle are the smart followers, basically. So out of 500,000 accounts, out of 500,000 accounts, Kaito basically identified, let's say, 20,000 who are smart followers. The way they put that label, nobody knows. It's not because your number of followers, it mainly has to do with the connections you have. So they created this, if you can imagine it visually, this social graph. Like in life, where you have the rich in the center and the most powerful people, and then it grows out. So how it works, it's pretty simple, because this has to be something that it's not farmable. People should not be able to manipulate this if it's going to work. So
But
because they
I
have,
wait, I
go ahead,
saw
go
I
ahead.
saw recently one guy, he become inner circle from emerging. So it's possible somehow to achieve. Uh, are you, of course, like a your inner circle?
I am from the beginning, but I
Mhm.
wasn't aware up until a couple of days ago. I wasn't aware that you can earn it. Now I know. So that
Mhm.
is good, because it has to evolve. Like, I don't know the criteria. Maybe after a certain number of smart followers, you become inner circle. I really don't know, but the concept is this. Instead of measuring views and likes and whatever, you measure what they call smart engagements. So, what they call smart engagements are replies, retweets, and quote tweets. So, no likes. Everything else but a like, it's a smart engagement coming from a smart follower, which makes the system pretty unfarmable, because in order for you to cheat or break the system, what are you going to do? Call people that are smart followers and tell them to engage with you? Maybe you find one or two, but you're not going to be able to call 20,000 people and get them to engage with you. That's the main difference. All right. Like, that's why it's so different from what we've had in 2024 called social farming, because that was a system which focused on these metrics that we all know. How
Mhm.
many views, how many likes? Kaito reinvented this and gave influence to this set of users called smart followers. So attention from them and engagement from them gives you yaps. That's how it works.
Mhm. Okay, but we know examples when smart follower wasn't smart at all, right? That they don't have like a certain amount of followers, they don't have like really influence on the space, because sometimes when you're watching who is a smart follower, you're like, who is that person at all? You know, I don't understand who is that. How you understand for yourself how you like, but you was big, like, everyone like writing, I started from zero, I started from, like, obviously we all started from zero, but you somehow, I have a feeling that you was big all the time, like how it's actually, like, let's start it with beginning, like how it started for you, and how, like, your level of engagement. I remember you from of course, how it's project
From
creators, yes.
creators. Yeah.
Yes, your level of engagement was super high even back then, and back then, and back then. So how you actually achieved it, and how you, like, even without all this kaita, you keep this attention of people on yourself and your content. How you achieved it?
So creators was a crazy story. I started working in 2021, 2022 in this space for a marketing agency, just doing Twitter stuff. And after working there for 8 months, I met Sydney Swift, if you remember him. He was
Mhm,
the founder of Creators.
mhm,
And Sydney wanted to, build creators. He liked me and he hired me to work for him. Chill Pill was a Twitter account of a virtual influencer. They were making music under this account before I worked with them. So
mm.
this is not the
Seriously?
account I created personally. All
Oh.
right. So I had an advantage. However, when I started working with them, this account was dead. Like it had 35 or 40,000 followers, but it was dead. It was mainly an account that was, as I said, a virtual influencer. They did some giveaways. They had followers, but engagement was non existent.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working really like just doing a bunch of replies just for you to have an idea. When I took over the account, it had around 1,000 posts in total when
Mm-hmm.
I took it over. Now it has 250,000. Like, you know, I look at the followers and I'm like, yeah, I didn't start from zero with this account.
Yeah.
Before I started working with Sydney, I actually helped a lot of people grow their accounts. Bark as well. It's a very famous case. I'm not going to go back to that, but I've had experience helping founders, helping projects, uh, you know, build communities and grow their accounts. When I started with Sydney, obviously, if you remember, like we were doing a lot of spaces, like just
Yeah.
spending 5 hours a day
Daily.
on
I,
spaces
I, I
daily.
believe like you one of the first who started to do this daily and at the same time, and it was like a show, so with
Mm.
the same format. Yeah.
You know how bad it was at the beginning, Ira? It was me, Dom, and like, 10 people. And
For
I
you?
said, look, and I said, I don't care. We will go for 5 hours, even if it's 12 of us, because we're gonna grow. So first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it was so dry. Like, 5 hours, what are you gonna talk about with 20 people, you know? And we were watching the clock. Oh my God, it's only been 2 hours. What are we going to talk about? But we went through that. Spaces grew. People found it useful. And most of the growth on Chill Pill's account in that period came from Spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to give you a parallel right now, you look at me, 80 something thousand followers, 35,000 are dead. Like they're dead, non existent.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to get rid of them, but I can't. So my message here is like Twitter is a platform that it's about engagement. If you lose that and you go on a holiday for 3 months and you come back, you're gonna
Yes.
find it really hard.
Dude, even more, I will tell you. I decided, okay, I need to take care about my mental health, because I before I did drunk spaces like bad singers right now every Sunday, and I understood like, okay, so I don't have a time to chill at all. So all the week I work in all the week, and when other starting the week, I feel like already exhausted, and I like lived by this like a year or something like that, and also on Sundays you don't have enough audience, you know, so you don't have even enough people, so you basically feeling like you spending your time, you like working for nothing. So I decided to reschedule it on Friday, and I decided to took 2 days off. You think 2 days it's a good amount of time to, you know, people don't forget you, Alga still loving you? No, I realized that you have only 1 day, so Alga still, you know, continue loving you. If you're like chilling, doing nothing, not posting nothing 2 days, you already lose some, yeah.
Absolutely. I call it like Twitter is, I think, the only social media platform that wants you here forever. It wants your soul. You need to reply, you need to engage, you need to post, you need to not miss a day. Think about how people manage Instagram, create
Yeah.
content, post it, then we're gonna go and enjoy the spa,
Yeah.
we make money through the ads. Here is like this algorithm wants you to be a slave, like you don't leave, like you stay here forever. It's hard. That's why also when you look at monetization, having 100,000 followers on Instagram sometimes means nothing. Having 100 active followers on Twitter can make you millions of dollars. So it's a different social media platform, and it's really hard if you are someone who wants to take some breaks. I can tell you that for sure, but it's not impossible. So going back to like the trajectory of growth, I would say 2022, 2023 was really big for me because of that. And then at the end of 2023, with Stars Arena and what happened with creators, with with Sydney leaving and people being upset, I took a big hit for a while. Like, first of all, I wasn't capable mentally to like come back. I adopted a dog. I smoked a bunch of weed
Congrats.
for like 3 months. I just watched movies and I felt sorry for myself and I hated everyone but my dog. I was like, people are shit. I don't want to see people anymore. Maybe I'm seeing my mom, my dog, and that's it. I was really in a bad place. Um, I came back just slowly. I started working, and it's been almost a year and a half since I've experienced growth like I'm experiencing it right now. And it is because of positioning. Like as I said earlier, when you ask me, like, all right, how do you have this? How do you maintain this engagement? How do you maintain the attention? My answer is you always have to reinvent yourself. You always have to be where the attention is. However, what I'm doing right now is very different. Like I went all in. I'm trying to create and attack content on all verticals. Short form written, long form written, memes, shit posts, articles, short form video, live stream spaces, every type of content that you can think of. I want to create that. And I want to get better at it. And I changed my strategy. I'm posting whenever I want, however many tweets I want. Sometimes I tweet 45 times a day. Sometimes I tweet 5 times a day. And for me, it's about this focus that I have. All right, we have snoozes, for those that know about snoozes. I want to turn this into a content creator powerhouse and literally just expand on all of these platforms. And I'm going to wrap it up by saying this. When I started really believing in myself as a content creator for every vertical was when I realized what AI is going to do to us. Like, you're going to have, and you also see it right now, AI generated content of all sorts. It's going to be a lot easier for everyone to make high quality videos, even music. I've seen people do music with AI right now, even written and so on. And when it becomes so easy for everyone, that's what everyone is going to do. So, what's going to stand out? What's going to be different? I call it raw content, unedited, messy, not really on point. The other day, I did a walking video for 7 minutes and I swallowed a fly and I spit it out on the live because I was choking and I almost threw up, right? Like, you can't fake that shit.
Yes.
So this is where I'm at right now. I'm trying to just have fun, be natural, not really care about what people think. Some people are like, "Oh, this is cringe. Oh, this is stupid." Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not here to ask for people's opinion. I'm here to try and grow myself and help others that wanna start on this journey.
You want to say that you just shooting content like whatever you comes to your mind, and that's working. That's it. That's all that's working. No plan, no like engagement strategies, no nothing. You just being you, and that's working.
I keep my grind. Like I'm a grinder. I put 500 replies a day on average. Like I spend a lot of time on Twitter. That helps.
500 replies. That's
Yeah.
crazy. For real?
And then I do the spaces. That helps, right? Because
Yeah.
people, I get followers. And then I do the live streams, and that helps. So when you look at all of these things that I do, when
Hmm.
I post, yes, it works because I have, all of these other things that are contributing to my growth. So then, yeah, I can just freestyle and be like, this morning I posted a quote from Rafael Nadal with a walking video. Later I posted about cell phone. One day I posted about football. I can post about I want people to know I'm a human being. Like, I think this is the most important thing you need to do right now as a content
Great.
creator, because
Hmm.
otherwise we're all gonna become AI generated content era.
But if it's working for you, and as you said, like crypto existing in bubbles, and I don't remember with who I talked about it, that is even bubbles inside the bubbles. Everyone like connected with some people only, and if something happens, like I don't know, some other project from other side of crypto, can never know about this because you are in this bubble, etc. And you just said like you can earn millions from content on X if you are active enough. So why are you choosing to stay in crypto if you can be influencer like out of crypto right now? Like why are you choosing to be in crypto
What
still?
a good question. I want because this is where I start, and this is what I feel confident about. But yes, absolutely. Like especially for next month, like we're gonna have the relaunch for Snoozes. As soon as I will branch out to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, I will be doing all sorts of content, not only
Yeah.
crypto. Crypto will always be in my heart. And look, InfoFi has helped me a lot, and this is still my specialty. But absolutely, like I want to go out of this bubble, and I'm gonna try to do it for sure. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm definitely gonna push for it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I'm on the same way, I realized that I'm not only in crypto, and a lot of my people, they are not using crypto at all, so why should I stuck like in this way? And I can do both, and also I can show my people how crypto can make their life better, but not making it the main narrative, something
Yeah,
that
not really looking like we are part of a cult, and we just want to
yeah,
onboard you, like, oh, let's onboard you,
yeah.
create a wallet. Um, I'm looking for this tweet from a girl, Ix. She made a tweet that I absolutely loved. I don't
Mhm.
think I'm gonna find it, but she said like, we need more human content in crypto, which means, in her opinion, it was like people want to talk about food, people want to talk about fashion, people want to talk about leisure, sport.
100%.
Not
Yeah.
everyone wants to talk about charts and prices and like,
You listen, I even sad sometimes, when my favorite guy's account that posting only about philosophy, some, what they watched today, something like that, they started posting about crypto, and I'm like, no, I want human life content. Sometimes I swear to God, sometimes I just want to watch on abstract some girls making makeup, and that's it, that's what I want, and I swear I want it. So yeah, I totally feel you, but anyway, like when I watched your content and your page right now, I'm just trying to find something that less than 100 likes, because like if you tell and like, and yeah, you're by the way, you're actually posting like every hour, even
yeah,
more.
even
Oh,
more.
damn, that's cool.
Um, yeah, I wanna like this is the thing. I don't earn yaps, all right? You know why? Because I
Wait,
don't go
wait,
out
you
like
don't?
no, right now for the past 7 days, I earned maybe 8, 9 yaps in total. In
For
total for
real?
the past 7 days. Yes.
Oh,
But I know why. And like this is the thing.
why?
After the Laudio competition, which was a couple of weeks ago, that's when I started having, I just jumped in really quick. I was early to that, so I experienced a lot of growth, and I wanted to have higher retention. So I wanted to connect with my new followers. Put it like that. And so I stopped focusing a lot on interacting with other people on the timeline because that's how I would get yaps. Yaps, I need to interact with big accounts, with smart followers. I need to get a reply back. This is how I usually earn yaps. My
Mm-hmm.
content and my audience is not really made up of smart followers. Like my audience, it's not smart followers at all. I do have 1,035 smart followers, but people who consume my content are not smart followers. So when I focus on engaging with my own audience so that I can create a connection with them, so that I can push that retention and really keep some of these new followers that I have active and keep them curious and push them to discover myself as a content creator, I need to engage with them. So I have to choose a little bit, and yaps are not that important to me. So I switch my focus, and I'm doing like 80% of the replies that I'm doing, or 90%, 9 out of 10, are to my own people. And
Hmm.
then I don't go out of my
Yeah,
own little house, right? And
I
that's why I
do the
stopped turning
same.
yaps.
I did the same, and I think I also, thought how they actually I didn't become like smart follower, and I realized that I don't interact with all these crypto accounts because for like we talk, for me it's boring. I consume Web2 content. I really
Yeah.
like how guys like making some creative, something funny, and I really think like when they will come to crypto, everyone like we're waiting for mass adoption, but when they actual creators will come, everyone will be fucked because now they're surviving on this feeling that they are better than others because they just know about crypto, but that's all that they are doing, and when the creators when actually create content will come here, everyone will be fucked because these guys actually working, and these guys creating something interesting. So I don't consume like web3 content on Twitter at all. I know all the news from Telegram groups, like from Russian Telegram groups. They
Mhm.
posting useful content about crypto. I using this information and reposting it on Twitter, something like that. And I just like I just don't in this circle, and I genuinely love my guys who is like 100 followers, something like that. They posted how they like riding on skateboards, and I enjoy this type of conversations. I enjoy this connection. So I'm
I
with you.
think, the difference is that we have our own like social media lives outside of crypto, which are based on the things that you just said right now, things that we
Mhm,
all do, like skateboard, like we listen to music, we want to go out, eat good food, look at fashion, talk about stuff that matters to everyone around the world.
mhm.
Crypto is focused on making money. Like people who choose to spend time here instead of, let's say, on Instagram, or just have another social media platform as their number one, they do it because they want the alpha. We call it alpha. They want the early information, they want the bag, they want the money. Or they want, you have also technical people. This is also, Ira, for yaps. Most of the people who get a lot of yaps, they are technical, they are actually
Yes,
developers, programmers, right?
yes.
So you can't really force yourself into conversations like that, even with AI. Like, this is how Kaito works, but this is the improvement. As you said, the social graph is expanding because when they started, they had to put this label on some of the accounts, and most of them are founders, uh, developers, and people who have jobs in Web3, people who are actually building technology, and they can have these deep conversations about topics that are very hard to understand by the majority. Consensus on the blockchain, this and that, and architecture, and like really developers' language, right? But the social graph is expanding right now. So people are getting the smart follower tag, they're getting the inner circle tag as they grow. And I'm pretty sure that with time passing, you're also going to have a bigger percentage of smart followers being content creators like us, who are not super technical in nature, but we have some history in this space and we do know stuff, but our content is not very, technical. And
Hmm.
what I mean by that is that slowly you're going to have more inner circle accounts that are not so technical. I love this system, to be honest. I think it's a beautiful system because I worked within marketing agencies. I know how bad it was before, how much money you would spend on promotions and giveaways without really knowing if they have any impact. Just looking at retweets, easy to fake. Looking at likes, easy to fake. Views, easy to fake. Like all of this, I remember in 2022, I was shocked when I joined this industry. Like, just to give you an example, I was working for this marketing agency, and they had NFT projects and they had advertisement budgets for like $25,000, $30,000 per budget, right? And they would pay $5,000 for a giveaway to these kids that were like gamers on Twitter, who just had the numbers, but they didn't really have the audience. So I was like,
Mhm.
so why are you paying for this? All right, you get 50,000 views, all right, or whatever. But those views are not even crypto native people. Like, they're not going to buy your product. Why are you throwing money to advertise through this person who doesn't have an audience which is going to buy your product? It's like me right now going to Messi, to Lionel Messi, and tell him to advertise some cosmetics. Like, what, what are we doing here? And so the problem was this, this habit that founders had. They were like, oh, we just need the numbers. Like, we just need the other people to see that we have the numbers. So we're literally paying someone to give us numbers that don't mean anything. And that
Mhm.
was wrong. And a lot of money was thrown out of the window. I personally paid from projects budgets. I paid gamers who were 30,000, 40,000 followers, and they had some traction on Twitter. We used to pay them tens of thousands of dollars per month. I used to work a year to get that, and these people were getting it for a tweet. Some of them were sending me messages. They were at the pool. They're like, "Oh, thank you, brother, for the $5,000. I just sent the tweet. I pressed one button and I made $5,000." I was like, bro, this is broken. And so right now we have this thing which is not that easy. That's why you're gonna see, if you look carefully, you're gonna see on the timeline some people with accounts that have engagement. They're really upset right now. They really don't like this. Why?
Mhm.
Because this is disrupting their business. They were the people who were making a lot of money in 2022. Right now, those marketing dollars, those projects, they go to Kaito. They get a leaderboard, and then it's a competition open for everyone. So I love it because it's the spirit that I like. It's democratization of
Mhm.
access to marketing dollars, which before was something that only a small group of people had access to. Right now, we all have access to this. So it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought about this too, that it's working like marketing agency, that just having all this social capital and selling it to projects, and they took some of obviously biggest percent from these deals, and other that then they just share among the most active users and everything. So it's kind of fair, if we can say so, but at the same time we see like huge amount of AI content, and that these guys, they kind of get used to like each other content, comment each other content, and it has no value at all. uh, but you earn in these yaps, for example, and at the same time, you, as you said, like you are not earning yaps right now, right? You focusing, but like if I will see that you working with some project, for me it will be like, oh, this project existing, so I trust in your brand, and I connect your brand with something valuable, even if you don't earn yaps, your name is like, I just feel like Twitter working sometimes on reputation and on building a brand. So that's why I don't like small deals, just make a post and that's it. Because in my opinion, it's not actually working, Working, it's long-term ambassadorship, like months ambassadorship, something like that. They are working. And that's how like all this campaign is still maybe useless, because people like adapting, the most cunning people adapting also. And as we
Absolutely.
said, like, if these people like smart followers, even if they posting something about the project, still it doesn't mean that other smart followers will listen them and will buy from this project. And in general, for me, like, I don't really sometimes even understand, because sometimes you share a referral link, and some referral link you gain like 100 followers, 100 people just following and jumping, and sometimes it's zero. So how it's working for you, like especially if you work in marketing agency, how it's actually working?
So I think, the special thing about InfoFi right now, and the way these campaigns work, like, you still have, let's not hide behind the truth. You still have groups, you still have marketing agencies. They're still around. You still have projects who reach out for one tweet, and that's fine. At some point,
Yeah, that's
you
fine. But even,
yeah,
all these agencies that they work before, they work at the same system. They just pay like 100 creators, like some amount of money. 100 creators, they just like each other, comment in each other, and that's still, this
it's
you.
a circle jerk.
Yeah.
So this is what I think it's gonna happen. You made a really important point. Like, how do you know as a project that you got conversion from whatever it is? As you said, referral or people bought the thing. How do you correlate someone's post with an action that people take, like buying something or
Mhm,
clicking on something, right? Kaito is going to introduce this. It's called on-chain behavior.
mhm,
And what they're going to do is that they're going to connect on chain, they're going to connect the chains with tweets. So, for example, if
mhm,
you, Ira, in 6 months, if we have this and you tweet something about Azuki, right? You make
mhm,
a banger video about Azuki, and then Azuki's, they start seeing an increase, in the sales, or people are just clicking, they start seeing more views on OpenSea, for example. They will be able to link that to your tweet, and they will be able to give you a metric, give you a score, and be like, all right, Ira doesn't have 2,000 likes and doesn't have 20,000 views, but when she tweets, actually people go and take the action. So she has a higher conversion than
mhm,
someone, let's say, with 100,000 followers. I think that is the last piece of this puzzle in
mhm,
order to make it a complete platform that any project can go to and be like, all right, I know I'm getting maximum for the money that I pay. There is another thing here, right? Like when it comes to marketing agencies, they're always going to be around. Like there's no doubt behind this. However, right now, what Kaito has done is that for the biggest projects who can afford to pay, how much it costs to have a leaderboard with Kaito right now, it's $150,000 per year, right? So not every project can have a leaderboard, right?
mhm,
But the ones that have the money, this is a lot better because they launch it publicly. They don't need to do anything and they can have it for 2 months, 3 months. And as you say, it doesn't become, oh, I'm paying you for this one tweet. It becomes a long term relationship that you can build with a brand. Some people are getting jobs, some people are getting full time ambassadorships as well. So I see it as something that's gonna fundamentally change how marketing works. It has done it already, but it's still like any system that you change, you're still gonna have the remnants like cling on as much as they can, until they're pushed out. It happens in life, it happens with countries, it happens with changes of generations, right? You have to make space for the new, and the old is never gonna be happy, I think
yeah,
maybe us as well in 20 years, maybe we're going to be cranky and we're going to look at the new generations and we're going to be like, oh, we don't like them. Look at them.
mhm,
They're not good, because that's what happens, right? You don't want yourself to be disrupted if you have a business model that works. But yeah, I feel like we're at the crossroads, especially if you take into account AI, because this is like something we've never. This is the most powerful tool we've ever had, and if I just believe that right now the best thing you can do is understand how this is going to change the world and position yourself, especially if you do content. Like, I preach this a lot. People should not be so lazy as to make their life so easier by having AI do everything for them. You should use it to teach yourself. Like, whatever you want AI to do, you want it to write a thread, you want AI to write an article, you want it to do something for you, cool. Switch the mindset. Ask AI to teach you how to do that and see how it changes everything.
mhm. Yeah, but don't you think like this make content kind of soulless, and soulless content they don't have like a lot of, yeah, no, 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 this opposite. It has
Mm.
like a lot of yaps, but you losing content with your contact with your audience somehow, because this technical stuff they don't have like they don't gain enough attention. People more care not about like you describing projects, but about stories behind project,
Emotion.
because
The emotion
emotions,
is missing.
why they need to stuck with this project, and that's the biggest part, and you how to combine it, just my question, how to combine your, this the vibe of creator, and like, because now for me, for example, and I'm sure for many who's watching us right now, it's a bit broken, because I feel like, okay, now we're talking about art, people, you need to create art, my post, and next post I'm like, okay, and now I need to like watch what is like popular right now on Kaita. I don't do this, just an example, right? And I'm like, oh, this project about this. So I feel like I kind of, confuse my audience maybe, because they're like, oh yes, art is so amazing, and then I'm trying to not selling them something, but this feeling. So how to combine this all in one person? But you said it's broken for you as well right now. So
I
how
think this
you?
is like this is the biggest win for me. Like this is how
Yeah.
I actually managed to get growth right now. Because in a sea of AI slop, I go very hard at raw, unedited, unfiltered content. And I think I'm standing out, and I do create a different relationship with my audience than most other people. So for me, this is an advantage. Like I want people to go ahead and become bots because this gives me the opportunity to stand out. And this has been, what I've been noticing for the past 2 months. To combine it, it's exactly what I was saying earlier, in my opinion. You have to understand that AI is there to teach you stuff, but everything that comes out should be actually you. When you get to a point, for example, I post 35 times a day. Like out of 35, I can also have 5 posts that are a little bit more technical or talk with people about projects, and it's fine because I have another 25 posts that, are life advice, videos with me. I do the live streams, the spaces. So this is how you do it basically. When you put on top of that, when you put yourself out there on video, on spaces, on camera, it gives more weight, more depth, and more emotion to the posts
Yes.
that you do, even if the posts that you do sometimes are, as you said, talking about projects, right? Because it comes from you. You have that initial connection. So the message is received in a different way than from an account which is only doing technical posts, never did a video. We don't even know if it's a real person or not. So I feel this is the secret, and this is the advantage. You have that advantage over people, and I have that advantage over people. We show ourselves on camera. We are real people. We talk. This
Hmm.
is not going to be, in a future where you're going to have 100,000 million billion AI generated pieces of content. The
My
only thing that's going to
mistakes
make
no
us
one
human
can
is this.
replace. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, isn't this funny, Ira? Right now, you actually have to do, like, I tell people this and they laugh. You actually have to do some mistakes in your grammar because otherwise people are going to think you're AI if you format it too much. So we live in an age where we have to be imperfect in order to not be considered AI. Whereas before, everyone was like, oh my God, this is the perfect video. I have to edit everything and put this there and put that there. I talk a lot about video content, and I think this is what's going to happen in the future. I'm happy. If I'm going to be right, I'm going to be super happy because I don't know how to edit. I don't work with a team that edits my videos. The videos that I do are one shot, either live stream or just one shot, no editing whatsoever. And so I feel we're heading into a future where with AI, everyone is going to be capable of generating super high quality edited videos. If you saw Google VO3 and all of these AI
Yeah,
generated
yeah,
videos,
that's
they're
crazy.
all going to be perfect. And when everyone is going to start to do that, well, it's going to become noise. So what is going to stand out? Well, imperfect content, you know? And so I'm focusing on that imperfection. That's it's crazy, but this is what I believe. I really do believe that the way to stand out in the future is going to be messy, to be imperfect, to
But
just not edit.
as you said, like it is like conflicting with Kaita, because Kaita still reading more perfect content.
For
They want it.
yaps,
Yeah,
yes. For yaps, yes, to some extent. It's like, but yaps are mostly written. Like you can't get yaps. I'm pretty sure they're gonna expand. They talked about this. I don't know how they're gonna do it because AI technology is growing so fast. But when you think about Kaito on TikTok, it's gonna be super different than on Twitter. And maybe at some point they will have also video recognition on Twitter. For now, it's just text based. So yeah, if you want
Text
the
and
apps,
replies. So you
mhm.
said before you received a lot of yaps by replies and connecting with smart followers. How did you find the smart followers? Through leaderboard or how? And secondly, like, is it like is it was like interesting for you to interact with them, or you just consider it as a work, or how it was for you? Because
I
I,
never,
to be honest, I never like tried to farm. I
me
have
either.
like not much.
I never tried to farm either. But I've noticed when I started getting a bunch of yaps, I had, I think, 70 one day. My maximum day was 70, 80, or 100. I've noticed what I was doing. And then, I wanted to try it and it worked. So just to give you an example, how do
Mhm.
I know smart followers? I don't. I just try to deduce. Like, for example, the founder of Kaito is definitely a smart follower, right? Big accounts, ICO based, all of these big accounts are smart followers for sure. Just to give you an example, at the beginning of the Laudio competition, I got really upset with Kaito because the answers that they were giving to some of my questions were very weird. And I went all in. I literally went to war with them. Like I started memeing, shit posting them, really going hard against them. And guess what happens? They engage with me, right? Because it was an important debate. And I didn't do it for yaps, but I'm giving you an example. During those days, I was getting 70 to 100 yaps. Why? Because I was posting controversial stuff that these accounts had to reply. They had to. They couldn't leave me like that because I was making noise and I was criticizing them. So
Mhm.
let me put it this way. The easiest way to get yaps is to start controversy about big accounts because they will not resist, and they will have to engage. And what sells best on Twitter? Drama. So it gives you an idea, all right? I'm not saying it's the only way. I'm just giving you an example of something that will definitely create conversation, comments after comments, people going against one another, debating, and so on. That's the point of Yaps. Um, there's something else as well, and this is a little bit more complex, and people should understand this. There is a limited amount of Yaps every day. Like, let's say 1,000, just for the sake of the argument. There are more, but let's just say 1,000 Yaps per day, no more. So if you have tomorrow 100 more people trying to get yaps, it's going to be harder for you. Because it's a limited amount, what happens is that yaps basically track attention on crypto Twitter. So to give you another example, you remember when Bybit got hacked? It was a couple of months ago. It was all over Twitter.
Mhm.
Bybit got hacked, and their founder went live, and everyone in crypto was talking about Bybit and nothing else. That is like a trending topic. So when you look at yaps, it's not only like you cannot measure it linear and be like one smart engagement equals one smart engagement. Like a reply from I don't know, the founder of Kaito gives me the same number of yaps as a reply from ICO Beast, for example. It's not like that. It matters. There are two important things that matter: the context. So, all right, you're getting a reply on a GM, and you just said GM, and they said GM back. No yaps for you for that.
Mhm.
It needs to be within the context of something relevant in crypto. And then the other thing is that how hot is the topic? So you can get a smart engagement today talking about Azuki. All right, you get Zagabon to reply to you, let's say, and you get,
Mhm.
I don't know, one yap. However, if today the hottest topic is like, I don't know, Coinbase, and you get an engagement back from, someone in the Coinbase team, that's going to be worth 10 yaps. So it's not equal. It's always moving depending on what's the hottest conversation in crypto. That's how yaps move. They are basically tracking where attention is in this big space of ours. If we think about it, we say it's small, but more than 500,000 people are on this platform on crypto Twitter. So it's this combination also because people want to have this easy formula of getting gaps. Oh, I need to get smart engagement. Oh, look, a big account replied to me. Why am I not getting gaps? Well, maybe it's no crypto context behind that first. Or maybe it's about the topic that it's not hot at all. And then people start earning gaps out of nowhere and they don't know how it happened. Oh my God, how am I earning gaps? When you look back, if you find it, you're going to see that you participated in conversation that was trending that day. It was in the attention of people. So it's not an easy system. You cannot game it, and it always moves, which is why I don't advise anyone to try and farm yaps because it's not going to work. Just do you. And if you want to really optimize for yaps, well, learn about blockchain technology and then go and debate with all of these founders and developers on the timeline and tell them why they're wrong or why they're right. Talk about architecture, consensus mechanism, talk about the technology. And I'm telling you, you're going to read yaps. So if you don't enjoy that, just do you. And when they come, they come.
Damn, that's so complicated, you know? Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, but don't you have like all the time this FOMO? Because especially right now, there's so many projects happens, you know? And before in 2022, when you just exist and you see different NFT projects, and yeah, definitely you choose your favorite, you work with them, like you having time to doing your stuff. Right now, you like stuck and a lot of blockchains appearing, a lot of like Kaito Yaps, a lot of different like social files and everything. And you like super, like, don't you catch yourself that you're super stressed right now and you have this FOMO constantly? When at the same time, like when I talked with Max Pretends artist previous week, he said like, but wait, like it only seems like that, you know, that crypto is super fast. But when you like when you see like months ago nothing changed, like in a big picture nothing changing, you know, but we have
Hmm.
this trauma constantly. So how you deal with it? And especially my questions also, yeah, as a person who want to create on different platforms, as you said, right? And at the same time Twitter don't let you go and create something different because you need to be all the time with your phone replying and everything. How you managing and how you will manage this problem, like with FOMO and with creating content on X constantly? How?
So the FOMO part, I think I managed to get over that because right now I'm super focused on snoozes and what's happening next. And because I've been growing a lot, I can really tap into competitions. If there is a campaign, I can really go for it and maybe make some money as well at the end of the day. Um, Projects are looking for me as well. The spaces are popping. Like it's because of my situation that I don't feel FOMO anymore. So I moved I moved beyond that because of the growth. And the way I've done that is just focusing on growth and not really on Yaps or Mindshare. I focused on one leaderboard only when I started, which was Kaito. Like there were so many campaigns that could have earned me money and I didn't focus. And I needed money. I'm not gonna lie. But I was like, I want to establish myself as a powerful voice on this thing and then build my audience and build my engagement so that when I want to participate in a campaign, I have a big chance of getting at the top and getting the money. So I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel FOMO. But you asked a very important question. Even right now, before thinking about branching out to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, I am getting help. Like I can't manage this volume right now without help. What I mean by help? Well, the
Mhm.
friend who onboarded me into crypto, actually, there is one. He's been by my side for years right now. But for the past 2 or 3 months, we are working a lot together. When it comes to content creation, he helps me a lot. He has delegate access on my account. I also hired an intern publicly, like people know him, 25th. He helps me with my comments to my own tweets. Right now, I get on average 3,000 replies per day from people.
Mhm.
So I want to get back to as many people as I can. And some of these comments are literally, just thank you for your support or, it's great. They don't really require me, right?
Mhm.
It's just the effort, like the muscle. Um, and I have help. Like I can't do this alone. Nobody can. Whoever tells you if they get to the level of actually producing content as much as I do, and then even branching out, and they tell you that they do that alone, they lie. Like it's
Mhm.
impossible. So yeah, this is how I'm managing it, but I'm also being super careful because I've done this in the past, and it really comes down to finding the right people, and that takes time. Just to give you an idea,
Mhm.
Razman, who's my I shouldn't even dox his name. Well, my quant, who's my friend for 10 years. Like we've spent so much time together. that we kind of speak the same, we kind of have the same meme. So he's the only one, for example, that I have confidence to let him do some replies on my account on the timeline, literally be me, right? But
Mhm.
we've spent years together. Like we know each other, we talk a lot. I wouldn't have that confidence with anyone. Anyone who helped me with this account was just helping me with my own replies, like the intern is doing right now, which didn't require them to do much else but say thank you and maybe some other comments, but on my own posts. It's a
Mhm.
very big difference, right? Because when you interact with other people, then it has to be you. So I would go back to saying this: if you want to scale, when you get to the point of not being able to cover it yourself, be really, really careful and offer a lot of time to get to have this synergy with the person that you're working with. It works really well with friends. If you have friends and you enjoy jokes together, especially memes and shit. Like for me, I have a WhatsApp group. We spend I don't know, we send, I don't know, 5,000 messages every day at least,
Mhm.
between three people. So we create together. It's a lot better. It's a lot easier. You know how ideas start to flow? Because two heads are better than one, even if you're the smartest in the room. Three heads are better than two. So yeah, it's no secret. And I feel like a lot of people hide also. I see creators that are not being transparent. I know they have teams. Like
Yeah,
you can't
Up
grow your
here
stuff without it.
recently posted that he have 22 people on his page who's working
He's
on his page.
Well, I believe 22 people for his entire agency, not for his page, because that would be stupid.
His page. He wrote for his page.
Yeah, I think that was me. You can't. Like, what are they gonna do, bro? Like, what what are you building a rocket for the agency? Yeah, because I know they're an
No,
agency. They
but
have
he
like
has like literally great engagement, and he receiving like I don't know how much you receiving money per 2 weeks that we receive. Like I receive 130 something like
very
that.
little. I receive almost as you, 150. You know why?
Why?
Because this is how Twitter monetizes it. It's about
But
the location of the
I'm the
people
same
engaging with
location
you.
as you, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
almost the same location. Yeah.
So that's the thing. If you want to get a lot of money, your replies, your engagement, they have to come from rich countries. Put it like that. For example, I have my biggest like the biggest part in my audience right now, by far, dominating everything else in the last month, is from Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the biggest countries when it comes to the percentage of the population which actually
Using
is active
crypto.
on crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
So this is how it looks for me, just to give you an idea. For the past 1 month, 37.9%, it's Nigeria, my biggest family. 6.9, it's India. Then it's United States with
Mhm.
6.1, Germany and Indonesia. So even though I have a bunch of engagement, I'm
Mhm.
getting more or less the same money, or I'm getting a lot less money than others, because my engagement does not come from countries where the click is worth a lot of money. Because it's about how much money on average does the person who clicks on your post or who engages your post have in their bank account. The most expensive ones are going to be, United States, you're going to have Singapore, Canada. If you have your audience mainly based in those countries and they interact with you, you're going to have a bigger paycheck on Twitter.
Yeah, but this guy receiving 1,060 dollars
Hmm.
for $600. Sorry, so 100 and half. Imagine.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of engagement from,
So when
from
I telling you like he has like 20 people in the team, I can believe in it. I don't know for sure, but I can believe in it because
but
this is huge.
paying 20 people, like that's a lot of money. Like he needs to be making a lot more than $1,000 per month to be able to pay 20
Of
people.
course, that's not even a question. But all the time I seen like this rich kids on my timeline. I'm like, just invest in your. That's what I would do. Just invest in your page, like invest in like up he doing. Like he is a super smart in it, in my opinion. And that's how you will like return back a lot of in sponsorship partnerships, in creating your own agencies, in connections, in networking, in all these yaps will be around you only. So it's kind of smart, invest in your team. And I think we're all
Absolutely.
trying to do the same, just in our opportunities. But on your opinion, by the way, what will make money to creators in 2025? How,
Actually,
guys?
today, Whale Mocha, all right, he posted this thing that got me so bullish. And this is what he says. I had quite a few meetings with established Web2 brands last week. Entertainment companies, in particular, are looking to expand into Web3 this year. Whether it's about integrating blockchain into the way they engage with their existing fan base or taking more control of their ecosystem economy with the token launch. It's going to be fun to see how this plays out. Web3 native companies have a lot of goodwill and the core crypto audience, which is essential for the successful launch of any crypto product. But Web2 companies have a huge audience they can tap into, tons of retail users, expanding beyond the hot potato game we're playing here on CT. The lines will continue to blur this year as many Web3 IPs expand their content heavily into Web2, Pudgies, Azuki, Clinosaurs, etc. While Web2 companies make a push into crypto with their existing name recognition, fan base, and a lot of capital, this is a good time to be active in the industry. He said that creators will be at the forefront of this because these big brands coming from Web2 are no longer looking to buy Web3 IP. They are expanding with their own brands and they will need a gateway into crypto Twitter, whether that's an individual or Web3 brand. I want to read this because I believe this is one of the biggest opportunities for content creators right now. The ones who are not going to become noise. I want to specify that. Like, a lot of people are just going to try to use AI to make money through content. And a lot of them are going to look the same and they're going to become what we call noise. So this is an opportunity for people who can show their face on camera, in my opinion, who can learn how to be a better writer, who can create an emotional connection with the audience, because these brands, they're not going to want to work with people that are noise. They want to come into this industry and they will look for people here already who can form an emotional connection with their brand. So I think it's a huge opportunity. In my opinion, this is a hot debate right now on Twitter, but I believe video is super important. Unedited, raw content creation, it's going to be king, in my opinion. It's going to make people a lot of money, hopefully myself, so I can log off this platform forever and not have to log in again. That sounds so bad because I actually enjoy it, but at one point I'm going to have to just not waste my life on Twitter. And another thing which I believe people are still underestimating, it's writing. Like, being a
Yeah,
good writer is never going to be out of fashion. And
absolutely.
the biggest mistake people do is that they look at AI to write for them. No, ask ChatGPT, literally. Just go and ask, bro, I want to become a better writer. Let's take it step by step. And do that instead of asking ChatGPT, can you write this for me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
so I
know,
see it, yeah, as just to wrap it up, I see it as an opportunity when a lot of people are going to do the same thing, do something different.
mm-hmm. But still, what's in your opinion? Like, what should we all focus on right now? Because I think like earning money is super important. Do you think like we need to focus in on working with brands, or still counting on your own content, or somehow combine everything and also dream how to create your own project? But can't create your own project when you're thinking about money because you want to do this with soul. I now want to create my own project, and I'm like, like, but like, how I can earn? But then, like, no, I shouldn't think how I can earn on it. I need to do this with my soul. That's blowing my mind because it seems like also everyone is earning a lot on this space, but actually it's not like that. It's not like
Yeah,
that.
it's
And
not.
yeah. So what's
So
your advice?
I think it really depends where you're at, right? For you, it's different than for someone who starts today. And it's about the time you are able to allocate as well. Some people have full-time jobs and they can't quit their job. They have a family to take care of. So they only do this part-time or occasionally, or they are just consumers. I keep saying that if you chase rewards and money too quick, even if you get it, you kind of self-sabotage yourself. And the most important thing for me is to focus on your growth
Hmm.
and be real with yourself. Like the growth, literally your analytics on Twitter. Like for I told you, I'm not getting yaps. I couldn't give a shit about it, to be honest. Like I don't care. Because I'm yesterday I got 3,000 followers in one day. Like that's what
Oh my
matters to me
God, from what?
from a tweet that I have pinned.
For
So
real? What's a
that
tweet it was?
it was for snoozies because we're launching the whitelist. So I asked people to drop their wallets, and this tweet has 7,600 comments, and I got
Mhm.
3,000 followers yesterday. Um,
Oh.
but even before that, I got to a point where I was getting 200, 250, 300 a day, and I was checking their quality and their real people. So
Mhm.
when I think about it, what do I want to do? Earn yaps and not grow? No, fuck that. Even if they give me money for yaps, because I'm trying to build something that's bigger than that. So when you focus on growth, then
Yeah.
everything else is going to start falling into place. Especially if you're starting out and you want to make money fast, you're going to sacrifice things that are going to be more beneficial to you in
Mhm.
the long run for some short term gains.
Mhm.
Maybe if you have to do it, do it. Like that's the thing. We all need to eat. Like I can't stay here and tell people, oh, you shouldn't monetize or you shouldn't rush. It really depends on you. Is it super urgent for you? Do you need to hustle today? Do you need to pay your rent? Then it's different than for someone who's like, all right, you know what? Even if I don't earn anything for 3 months, I'm still going to be good. So let me take the right steps so that in 3 months, I'm in a better place. It's always a fight, it's always going to be a balance.
Yeah.
But my advice would be focus on your growth, both as a content creator, like just as I said, a lot of people should just learn how to write. I do that every day. I try to get better as a writer, instead of using AI to generate text for me. And then you should just try to optimize for the growth of your platforms. And one more thing as well, which I'm not doing, and I must do from next month, surely. Do not stay on just one platform. Don't do this mistake. Like you can get suspended or it can go out of fashion. Like if you're gonna create content, why not try to do it on all platforms, especially if you do video, because with one source of video content, you can repurpose everything for every social media platform.
But man, it's so complicated again because you need to shot the content and it took a lot of time, right? And especially edit it and everything. And you understand, like to stay like on Twitter, you need to be all day on Twitter like this. So yeah, it's also about balance and about your goals that you set for yourself. I see the question here: how to find smart followers. So we already talked about this, like just
Yeah, you can't find them all like on Twitter, but usually they are people, that work in crypto, founders, big accounts. They're usually smart followers.
yeah, just watch with who communicate with your favorite founders, and that's enough. Usually it's smart followers with who they communicate, and try to find something interesting for you. Because as I noticed when I post about art, what's really interested me, it gained right audience. Because people, probably smart on the followers, they interested in art deeply, and they replies, and you build a real conversations, and it's also not boring conversation, but something good, and you earn yaps from it. So it's kind of balance for me. I found for myself, like, I don't know, but again,
Absolutely.
yeah, when you want to grow, everything should be a bit controversial too. So you need to cut your
Yes.
ego, cut your ego, forget that it's you on the block, just accept it as a business on some time at least, and just make it as a content machine.
And grow some thick skin, because
Yes.
this is the internet. People are gonna be mean, people are gonna say all types of shit to get to you. If you're gonna do this, if you're gonna choose to do this, make sure that you protect your mental health and you don't, because this can have a pretty big impact on people, and I've seen it happen. So yeah, if you're someone who gets really, sensitive when it
It's
comes to
me.
people's opinions, it's not gonna be for you.
It's me, but I get used to, the more hate you receive, the more, stronger you become. So I have no idea what haters or like people who want to, just
Troll.
kill
Yeah,
you inside. They actually doing the opposite. They're making you stronger and stronger with all the
absolutely. With the right mindset, but also like, people go through life. Life is not easy. So sometimes, even as a content,
100%. Yes,
yeah, as a
100.
content creator, if they catch you at your low and then you get a bunch of like, yeah, get a dog. They're
I
gonna
have a
teach
dog,
you.
so it's
No,
helpful.
I know. I'm telling people like get a dog.
Yeah.
They're gonna teach you what's important in life, which are the simple things.
100%. I agree. I agree. Adopt dog from the shelter. It will be
Yes,
the best.
adopt, adopt. I adopted as well.
I love it. Okay, last questions for you. And I actually think like it will be cool to have you with your snoozy because I have no idea what you're building, and it will be interesting to talk about it maybe in a few weeks because yeah.
I would love
Uh,
to. I would love to. Yeah, in a few weeks we should be live.
yeah, yeah. It will be, I think, July 8th. July, next, yeah, not next.
Beginning of July, but
Yeah.
maybe even faster. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it
Okay.
goes.
Okay, because yeah, I have like scheduled too, but I always like will have to talk with you. Anyway, my last questions for you. Full centralization or full decentralization? It's a blitz. Quick questions.
Oh, decentralization, but I don't think people care.
Okay,
Like
full
you go
doxing,
ahead.
full doxing for everyone or full undoxing?
Full doxing. I'm all about accountability.
Okay, what you would say to Satoshi Nakamoto if you would meet him and you like seeing him in person?
Bro, what have you done?
In a good way.
Yeah, that's up to him.
Okay.
That
Uh,
was a good question.
yeah, and how like I recently started to ask in my guests how much they earn because it's important for people who watching us and who want to enter crypto or have this this path of creator or something like this. Of course, you can tell us approximately, not like exactly the amount, but something
So
that.
I can give you an idea. For example, throughout my last jobs, I think the average salary I was getting was around $5,000 per month
Mhm.
through my jobs. Right now, pretty hard for me to say, but I'm looking at this month and it's been a record month without participating in too many campaigns. If I could estimate, maybe this month is a month with $25,000, $30,000, and
Do
that's
you
me.
get it on crypto or it's
Yes,
just work for agencies?
no, 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 in just
Just
crypto.
crypto
Yeah,
trading.
no, 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 just literally work like campaigns right now with Kaito. For example, the Laudio campaign landed me $26,000. I gave away to the community
For
33%.
real?
So
That's wild. For real?
yeah, yeah,
Twenty-six
that was
thousand
I
dollars.
won. I won the competition. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And there's another one that's starting
Man,
like tomorrow.
where have I been? I completely faded it, to be honest. I'm like
I went.
everyone's talking about it.
I
I was
didn't
walking
sleep
the
enough.
dog.
For 3 days, I slept 4 hours. I went super hard. Like, yeah, I wanted to win, and I did. So that was nice.
Congrats.
Thank
Congrats.
you. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe next month we're gonna double it. I don't know. I don't have a limit, and I don't want to think that much about money right now. For me, I want to think about growth because I know for a fact that if I do what I want to do, at one point money's just gonna flood. It's just gonna start flooding because this is we're living in the age of AI. Content creation is gonna be, in my opinion, one of the only jobs that we're gonna have in like 20 years, 20 years, and yeah, also, like, I just want to wrap it up by saying this. I've been around for almost 5 years. I've seen people go up and down, people become famous, heroes, whatever, main characters in crypto go down again. So many have come and go. And it's not only me, it's a couple of us as well that we've been around. And right now we are seeing this opportunity to kind of rise up to the ranks. I'm happy because I think that we've also had people who didn't have the best intentions in mind, and all of the stories that I remember, are quite extractive. And I think right now there is a new wave of creators which is not that focused on, dumping meme coins on your head, I think InfoFi is a win because it's an ecosystem which does not rely on your money as a consumer. This is
Mhm.
money coming from these projects that are raising money. So, you know, I look at the InfoFi revolution, I call it like that, as being something completely opposite to the meme coin meta. The meme
Mhm.
coin meta was something that relied a lot on money from retail, right? So a lot of people got wrecked. That's an extractive model. That's why the influencers who are doing that, they're not here anymore. Because like they can't, right? Like when you have so many people wrecked, even if that was your intention or not, the way you make money is by taking it from other people. In InfoFi, this money is marketing budget from projects coming. So it's a lot different, a lot less extractive. I feel a lot better about it. And I'm going to finish by saying that our time has come and it's here, and we have to take advantage of it because so far, this has been something that only a small group of people had access to, and they were making millions, and we were getting breadcrumbs. So the democratization of access to marketing dollars, it's super important in this space, and Kaito has done that, and I hope we're going to see some more companies do the same.
Mhm. Thank you so much. I will track what you're doing next time because I want to be a competitor on the loud next
Let's
time.
go.
Yeah, man, that's crazy amount of money.
You can smash it. Trust me, you can smash it. Laudio
Let's
was
go.
fun. Like we've shared photos and videos and shit posts and jokes. It wasn't about writing, super technical content. We've had fun.
You know, usually I also asking in my bleeds to record message for yourself in a year, but because we'll meet with you in some weeks to talk about Snoozy, I won't ask it from you, but we'll ask it next time. Okay.
Perfect. Ask me next time because if I'm gonna come on your stream and we have a sold out project, my answer is gonna be totally different.
Wait, you are not selling it yet? Like you're
No,
not minted it yet?
no, 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 no. We stopped at 1,029 NFTs out of 5,555. We have 80% left of the collection, but we are migrating to Sophon.
Mm.
Long story,
Okay.
maybe for another time. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I will follow you then. We'll watch what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Ira. This has been lovely. I miss talking to you on Spaces. Live
I
stream, it's
miss
even
it
better.
too.
I hope we'll do
To be
this.
honest, yes. I want to be close to you again because your vibe is priceless. You know, you're doing building a great stuff, and I really like how you combine real yourself and some content. You know, about crypto and everything. So you do it. It's soulful still. So I
Thank you
appreciate it.
so much, Ira.
Yeah, thank you.
Really, thank you for the kind words. Much love to you. And yeah, let's do this again.
Let's do, guys. Thank you for watching, and yeah, every like almost every day we're here. Bye bye.